Hey, ladies and gentlemen, look where you are. You're in the infinite regression. It's so infinite and so regressy. It's like shablam, shabang, shaboigan, shablamo, shabing, shabang, shabong, shaboom, shablink, shablank, shablibbity, bibbity, bibbity, bop, shamalama ding dong. Anyway, it just keeps going, is what I'm getting at. Anyway, a lot of people say to me, Jessica, my name is not Jessica, but a lot of people say to me, Jessica, what's a delicious tequila that you would recommend? Well, my good friends, it's really hard to go wrong if it is truly a 100% agave tequila that is not of the Blanco variety. I know people like the Blanco, but you know what? That's basically moonshine. You gotta age it in a barrel. Fine things are always aged in a barrel, be it the reposado or the añejo. There are others as well. I'm not Captain Tequila knowledge over here, but I do have a nice glass of one of my very favorites, which is Milagro, which is a delicious, the Milagro Reposado, which is absolutely buttery smooth and delicious. And I've been messing up. I've been trying to get this thing done here for a few nights now, but here we go, down the hatch, in one. Oh, that is smooth. Oh, love it. Anyway, we're good. We're good. We're having a good time. It's good time. Good things are happening. You know, long as you're not part of that teetotalers club with Stan. You know what I'm talking about? Clarissa, you know what I'm talking about, right? Oh, she is under that table. Did she put the lampshade on? She put the lampshade on. That is so cliched, it's actually working. Like, that's hilarious. Anyway, case and hands to yourself. Yeah, I'm watching you. Ugh. Aiden, you make sure he does not take advantage of this woman that I almost took advantage of in a drunken stupor. I held back. You can too. Yeah, that's right. I almost married her. So I almost made an honest woman out of the world's least honest woman. Anyway, regardless, you just back the frick off. I know how she gets when she's drunk, and believe me, it's a lot of fun. But hey, she is a valued member of this team. She deserves dignity and respect, a dignity and respect that she doesn't have the decency to ask for, but we're going to give her nonetheless. Isn't that right, Chaz? We value our team members. We value them. Chaz, I ask you as you are sending what appears to be a filthy text message to the young lady. I was about to say woman, but she is a bit young for that, quite honestly. She is your daughter's former best friend. You know, that one that you've been seeing, that you've been taken up with. You're sending her filthy, disgusting things in the middle of the day. That's what you're doing, rather than being here, being present for the show that we do. Okay, I see how it is. I'm aware. You know what's weird about this one? You know what's weird? Normally I start over here with our good friend Braxton. Normally I'm, little chit chat with Braxton. Little, hey, how you doing? Did you write me some good stuff for this one? I don't know. I did not pay attention in the writers' meetings. I've got my own things to worry about. I was texting my lawyer. There's depositions happening, and there's gathering of evidence, and there's, going to be some sort of a grand jury to find out whether or not Stan has a case, and we know he doesn't have a case, right? Right, Chaz? He doesn't have a case, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be so confident in your texting of inappropriate materials to someone who just this time last year was a minor and still really feels like a minor, kind of has that minor mentality where they can easily be manipulated by an older man if he's unscrupulous. You know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm getting at, good friend? Chaz, you are a handful, and I won't say a handful of what, but it is not pleasant to sniff, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, Braxton, Braxtone, Bracky Brick-a-Brack. You're my buddy, you're my pal, Braxton. You're the guy. You've been near my apartment one time, so it's like we are the closest of all the people in this room. You and I are the most like what one might consider friends. Anyway, hey there, good buddy. You're holding it down for the home team, aren't you? You're gonna be helping me out. Number one, having written good stuff. Did you write good stuff? Oh, he's just giggling to himself because of the devil's lettuce he's been on. He's been smoking these jazz cigarettes, and boy howdy, it's if he was laying it down like Miles Davis, I might feel differently about it, but the guy who can barely bring himself to write 35 slides anymore. You remember the old days, we used to do like 110. Remember that Halloween episode? Oh boy, what I wouldn't give to get the old cocaine Braxton instead of this weed Braxton. Oh man, that definitely a downgrade is what I'm saying. I mean, I know it affected your personal life and you're trying to get back on track and recovery and whatnot, but come on. I mean, I need my material, right? I mean, you can't have me up here with nothing to say. I can't manage, is what I'm saying. If you give me nothing to say, it's not like I can just step up to the microphone and say words into it for minutes at a time. If I don't have words specifically written, pre-written in advance, words that are funny, that make me look charming, like I'm some sort of America's sweetheart of comedy, that's what we're aiming for. And, honestly, without you guys, I'd have nothing. I'd have a whole lot of nothing. It is a skill being able to take other people's words and give them life. And that is a skill which I do possess. Oh, shut up, Braxton. I do possess that skill. Shut up. You're high as a kite. Nobody cares what you have to say anyway. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, I do have that skill, and it is a skill, but you know what? You got to do the writing. And, if you're not able to write, well, you're, sucking down on the sticky icky over there. Yeah, if you're, smoking them green cigarillos, like, well... We might have to have an intervention. That's right. I didn't intervene when you were on coke. People wanted to. They're like, oh, it's very, very unhealthy. He could die at any time. And I was like, but have you seen what he's churning out? And the volume. Oh, my God. I mean, at a certain point, you have to stop and think about what's best for the show. I mean, am I right, Chaz? Chaz? Why is your phone inside your waistband of your pants and your underpants and your... Oh, I see what you're doing. Oh, God. I work with the worst people alive. Speaking of which, Ian. Oh, good. Yeah, all those pimples you were popping last week. Yeah, they didn't come back with a furious rage. It's not, Pimples Part 2, The Revenge of the Pus over here. It's, yeah, that's sure not what's happening. I'm not looking at your face and being reminded of the surface of Mars. Yeah, that's not a thing that's happening. Come on. Did you try and get me on the top side of the park benches and the bus benches? Top side. That's what we want, Ian. We don't want underside. The only people who recognize me when I'm out in public are, meth heads, crack heads, homeless people. There's significant overlap in those communities, unfortunately. Anyway, regardless, I'd like to be recognized by someone nice for a change. I'd like to go to a nice restaurant and have someone say, hey, aren't you that guy from that show that I watch on the internet that's a good show, that has well-written jokes written by someone who's on cocaine and not weed? Come on. Anyway, regardless, let's just get it together. Let's just pull it together. We can do this. We can do this. All right. Do I have the sheet? No, the sheet. Come on, people. Look, I gotta pop that cork off of that tequila bottle. Leyenda del Milagro Tequila. 100% de agave reposado. Product of Mexico. Anyway, just get me some of this, because this is the good stuff. And we're going to have this on hand. Anyway, you find me that sheet yet? The sheet. We've been trying people out to read this first slide. I can't start the show by myself. What kind of a, I do a lot of things around here. I basically, sometimes, you remember the times when he switched to weed from coke? And he would do entire shows that were like, hey, Rem, just make up this part. Huh. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Sure was. Good time. Great oldies. Yeah, let's do it like that more often. Boo. Ridiculous. Anyway, people, what I'm telling you is that it doesn't work for me if I don't have the words written out, and I don't have my sheet when I need my sheet. I'm the star of this dang show, and none of you act like it. None of you, y'all make eye contact with me like we're equals. We're not equals. Especially you, Ian. Look down. Don't you look me in the eye. Oh, gross. You got a thing on your neck that's, ugh. It's pulsating. Get, somebody lend him a needle or a safety pin or something. Go take care of that. It's beating with your irregular heartbeat, Ian. That's disgusting. Oh my God, it's green. Get out of here. Anyway, regardless, still on the bottom side of the bench, still on the bottom of the pile. Nobody knows and nobody cares except old Rem, right? Same as it ever was. Give me that sheet. Okay. Who do we have here? What do we got going on here? Hold up. Come on. Let me. How many times did you fold this? It's just supposed to be a name and a piece of paper. That's it. Okay. All right. So you all know that we've been trying out different people to see which one we want to take Stan's old job, because Stan did such a piss poor job and then he tried to force me to join his cult. You all remember this, and please, if you would swear to it in court, please call the number on your screen now. Anyway, So let's see. We you remember we've tried different people. We had a Mr. Crankshaft. He was, in a word, horrifying, and we were going to hire him, but luckily he's back in prison for 10 to 12 years, unless he is an exceptional prisoner, which I kind of doubt. Anyway, he's going to be there for a while, and hopefully the show takes off during that time and we don't have to worry about him anymore. So we said no to Mr. Crankshaft. That just didn't work out. We had a Mr. Flurgen Blurgen, is he Norwegian, Denmarkian, Swedenish, Hollander, they call them Hollanders from the Holland. Anyway, I don't know. He was a Flurgen Blurgen, lots of umlauts, lots of, diacritical marks all over his name, O's with slashes through them and whatnot. It was very confusing. Anyway, he's, he was good and all, but ultimately, last week we had a gentleman that I thought was just absolute dynamite. We had a bona fide Shakespearean trained actor in here for once, and boy, he did a number. And we all thought it was great, but then he got the role of a lifetime. He is apparently playing Ophelia in Hamlet, because you know how all the gender-bending casting that's going on. Anyway, he gets to play Ophelia in Hamlet, which apparently he's always wanted to do. Apparently he's always wanted to wear a dress in front of a packed theater crowd as well, so that's surprises no one. Anyway, these theater types. Let's see, who do we got here? We have a Billy Joe Cletus Bob. Billy Joe Cletus Bob. That you got Billy is a first name. Joe is a first name. Cletus is a first name. Bob is a first name. You're all first names, buddy. Anyway, welcome to Yankee territory. Is it your first time up north? He says it is. Says it's his first time up north. Welcome. Can I call you Billy? I gotta say the whole thing. Wait, Billy Joe Cletus Bob is just your first name? Billy Joe Cletus Bob is just your first name. Okay. I don't even need details on your last name. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. Oh, it's Roger. Well, that's not like that's a first name too. Okay, Billy Joe Cletus Bob Roger. Anyway, welcome. Says you are from, hold on, let me take a look here. Mississippi. First time in Yankee territory. And you're going to read these words for us. Yep. That's what I hope to do. Want to get me one of them Hollywood type careers like what you got. Gonna wear me a jacket with stars and bars on it. It's gonna be made out of sequins. It's gonna be like if Elton John was a good old boy. That's what that's gonna be. Anyway, I'd like to read this here for you if I could. Yeah, that's why we're here. Love to hear you read it. Anyway, your audition, we'll just sit back. We'll listen anytime you're ready. Thank you kindly. I do appreciate it. Anyway, I'm a read these words. I'm gonna put my own spin on it. Hope y'all like it. It's gonna be pretty good, I think. Okay. A Weekend Top Fun Volume 35. Suey! You know I like putting hog calls at the end of things because normally I work with hogs. You know that, right? You looked at my resume, my headshot. I'm holding a hog in it. Yeah, yeah, that's what that is. That is accurate. That is exactly what you have sent over. So, you will be hearing back. Those of you fans of the show, if you liked what Billy, Joe, Cletus, Bob, Roger had to do here tonight, you just go ahead and let us know, and we'll sure let you know. You'll hear back from us at some point, I'm sure. Yeah. Anyway, well, I've got to get into the show. You've introduced it. Now we've got show to do. So yeah, with your host, Rem Pemberton of the Clemson Pembertons. That's me. I'm Rem Pemberton of the Clemson Pembertons. Yeah, you might be getting a hint of what we're doing here. A little bit of a nod to what our theme is this week. Come on, Rem, let's start the show with a proper theme. Yeah, let's do that. Out of tuners, give us your most normal. This has always been the theme song. This has always been the theme. This has always been the theme song. This has always been the theme. Cha. Ooh, the cha. Really makes you feel like everything's gonna be okay. Well, I tell you, people, every week I swear to God that I'm like, hey, those out-of-tuners can't possibly be more normal than they were last week. And by God, they just normal it right up. They just normal the place up with a heavy, heavy dose of normal. I don't know if any of us were prepared for that amount of normal, but very normal. Thank you, gentlemen. Anyway, this week's episode, Science and the Men of Science and the Marvelous Inventions of Science. Part 1, The Great Men of Science. Have you ever come up with a brilliant scientific discovery? Well, of course you haven't, you delusional so-and-so. It takes a great man of science to come up with a brilliant scientific discovery. Get your head out of your pompous ass and learn about great men like Horatio Lafontaine. Lafontaine, truly a modern genius, used his knowledge of polymers and molecular structures to create a zipper which physically cannot trap penis skin within its teeth. The next time you zip your trousers and don't howl in blinding, searing pain, spare a thought for Lafontaine and his marvelous invention. Truly a modern marvel and a modern genius. Yes. Do you know what any of this means? Linear log varichord model 43? Do you know how to read one of those? Of course you don't. You're not a great man of science. Horatio Lafontaine, we salute you, and men like you. Another man like you, well, who? Oswaldo Grenadine. You will no doubt remember Grenadine for his famed Grenadine maneuver, by which one can calm a hysterical woman by slapping her hard across the face and shouting at her to calm down. His maneuver has been curing women of their hysteria since 1907. Boy, I tell you, when your lady gets hysterical, there is nothing that calms her down like slapping her full in the face and yelling at her to calm down. There is nothing quite like it. We salute you, Oswaldo Grenadine. Your marvelous invention truly has revolutionized our modern world. Cornelius Blunderbuss. He used what were then revolutionary gene splicing techniques in order to create the world's first homosexuals. When asked why he would undertake such a project, Blunderbuss retorted, "Science is all about can do, not about should do." Indeed, indeed. And those of us who, while under the influence of various substances, have found ourselves late at night in a city park and found a peculiar set of gentlemen hiding in the bushes doing, well, surprising things to one another. Boy, you know, sometimes with the right drink, let's see, do I have the right drink right here? Milagro Tequila, let's find out. I feel cruisier already. Anyway, Blunderbuss created the world's first homosexuals in safe laboratory conditions, but he knew his invention would revolutionize the world. That's right, it would give us things to argue about with our super religious relatives and give us things that we could yell at them about that we know they're wrong about and we're right. And the steady march of history will prove that we were on the right side and they were in the wrong. That's right. What is science for if not for giving us things that we can lord over our religious relatives? Blunderbuss, we salute you. And also, sometimes when you've had the right thing to drink and you come across one of these homosexual types hiding in a bush in a city park late at night, well, they just might do things for you that no woman ever has, and they'll do it with a loving care and attention of someone who really knows the ins and outs of a man's body, because they have a man's body. Well, homosexuals, I just think they're the bee's knees. Thank you, Blunderbuss. Dr. Ronald Grendelberry. Dr. Grendelberry holds the patent on the cure for cancer. Oh, but there is no cure for cancer, I hear you say. Hold up, you don't know about Grendelberry. Currently, his revolutionary treatment is only available to the fantastically famous and or wealthy. Now do you feel stupid? Yeah, of course you do. 'Cause when was the last time you ever heard of a famous or rich person dying of cancer? Exactly. They all have access to Grendelberry's cure. That's right. And all that he asks, all that he has ever asked, was tickets to their award shows. Yeah, that's right. You have seen this guy sitting in the crowd for the Emmys, the Grammys, the Oscars, the Tonys, the Latin Grammys, the Southern Grammys, the Alaskan Grammys, the Canadian Grammys, because they don't pronounce things correctly up there. Yeah, you've seen him for all the things. He's been there. Because guess what? Jennifer Lawrence didn't die of cancer. You're welcome, because Dr. Grendelberry made sure. There you go. Who would you save with the cure for cancer? Oh, children? Children who shouldn't have gotten cancer in the first place if there was any sort of a just and loving God of the universe? Oh, man. You don't know anything about anything, do you? Well, I'm sure that over time people will get tired of only the very wealthy and the very fantastically famous and deservingly famous people are getting the cure for cancer, and I'm sure someday regular people like you might get it too. But in the meantime, those of us who do have a bit of fame and notoriety, we stand in awe at the great man Dr. Ronald Grendelberry, truly a genius of our time. Sir Reginald Stankwalther III, member of the Royal Society and personal scientist to Queen Victoria, Stankwalther invented many useful household objects, but is perhaps best known for inventing the left-handed dildo, shown in censored form below. Wait a minute. Was Queen Victoria left-handed? Inquiring minds want to know. Hold up. Queen Victoria was left-handed. Oh my God. Are you freaking serious? Okay, look, I know that you're thinking like, hey, but left-handedness is very common and there's lots of people who are left-handed. Shut up. First of all, shut up with your stupid mouth. Shut up. It's my show. And second of all, like, you don't know. What percentage of the world is left-handed? 10%. 10%. It's not like there's a 50-50 chance that Queen Victoria was left-handed. You write these jokes, and you don't know if you're absolutely 100% right. It's just the idea of a left-handed dildo is funny. It's inherently funny, like how farts are funny. You don't have to have anyone explain to you that farts are funny. It's just a funny sound and a funny thing to happen to your body or to someone else's body or to happen to your body because someone else's body did it and then you smell it and then they laugh while you're gagging on their nasty fart. It's funny all around. Left-handed dildo, absolutely hilarious. One of my favorite things I've ever thought of, definitely. And the fact that this guy is like saluting to the left, and then to find out that Queen Victoria was in fact left-handed. We did not know this when we put this together. Braxton, did we know that Queen... He's too high to know. Anyway, regardless, we didn't know this, and the fact that it is true is a delight. Also, congratulations on your facial hair. Many, many happy returns to the waxer of your mustache. Whoever is handling this business on a morning, daily basis. Oh, and this middle part. Whoo! Look at that. Oh, Gen Z, look at this and weep. There is not a hipster among you that has this kind of, head hair gravitas. Yes, Sir Reginald Stankwalther III, we salute you especially. Especially left-handed people. Salute with your left hand. The dildo hand. Moving on. Captain Jonathan Stupp. It was famed anthropologist Captain Stupp who first discovered that the women of the tropics will more readily exchange sex for small trinkets, beads, jewelry, and the like than British girls will. We all recognize the value of his work, and we thank him heartily for it. How you think they sell all these boat and plane tickets to the tropics, huh? It's not like they've got good tea there. Oh, sure, they grow it, but they don't have it. They don't process it there. You got to send it home to Britain. I mean, everybody knows that. And you get a master tea blender to blend it up for you, and then you get a good cuppa. But guess what you do get when you're among the island peoples, the tropical type peoples? Well, if you've got some shiny beads and whatnot, well, you're going to have a good time. Tell you that much right now. Thank you, Captain Jonathan Stupp. Rutland von Hintern. It was the groundbreaking synthetic materials of von Hintern that brought us both the plastic surgery that gives thick booties to otherwise thin women, and also the leggings that hug every taut curve of the aforementioned synthetically maxed out keisters. You see this butt? Shouldn't be that thick and juicy, not with this thin waist. You see these leggings? Ain't no way they should hug like this. Oh, but Von Hintern made it happen. You look into this man's eyes, you're seeing someone who appreciates a nice, a thick, a slice, a booty burger. That's right. He know what he did. He know what he did. Anyway, Rutland Von Hintern, we salute you and your groundbreaking work in the area of the badonkadonk. Thank you, good sir. Part 2. Science brings you the future today. Boy, howdy does it ever. We're going to be talking about inventions and gadgets and things that science has brought us that make all of our lives just a little bit easier. These are the modern marvels that we all see in our everyday lives, thanks to science and the great men of science. Metal detecting sandals. Do you want to scan the beach for lost keys and insignificant amounts of loose change, but don't want to look like a weekend dad doing the one thing that has brought him any amount of joy since the divorce? Do you have any objection to looking like someone with a DUI who lives close to the beach? If you don't, slip on the sandals and receiver unit that looks 100% like a court-ordered anklet, plug it in, power it on, and you'll be finding things people weren't heartbroken to lose in no time. Bluetooth-enabled tampons. Ladies, how long have you suffered because you were living in the dark ages, using old-fashioned tampons? With the old tampons, if you wanted up-to-date information about your ongoing flow while in public, ladies used to have to reach under their skirt, yank the string like they were starting a weed whacker, and stare blankly at the clotted mess at the end of the tampon. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. You can get MyFlow tampons, which I cannot stress enough are a real, actual product that you can buy with money. You can get MyFlow tampons, which connect wirelessly to your phone via Bluetooth and continually update you on what's going on when Aunt Flo makes her monthly visit. Don't live in the dark ages, ladies. Plug up, tune it in, and find out for sure. The Fliz. Do you love bicycles but hate the unnatural motion of pedals and the wild discomfort of bicycle seats? Meet the Fliz, the next evolutionary step in cycling. To ride the Fliz, you strap yourself into the crotch-hugging harness, which is sure to be more comfortable than sitting on a padded seat. Then, rather than using those unnatural pedals, you simply Fred Flintstone your way along as God intended. Oh, we hear you say, if I'm walking under this stupid thing, why don't I just save time and walk without a Fliz? Dear consumer, do you even hear yourselves? Soon everyone will have a Fliz, and you don't want to be left out. Hop on the trend while they still only cost just over $2,000. Money well spent. The lap pillow. Are you between girlfriends? Have you been between girlfriends so long that you genuinely need the loving tenderness that only a woman's lap can bring? Get yourself a lap pillow. Not another costly and annoying girlfriend. With the lap pillow, you can cuddle and cry quietly to yourself without having to explain to yourself to anyone who doesn't have a Y chromosome. It's all of the tenderness without any of the actual interaction. Who doesn't want that? Look at how happy he is. The lap pillow. Get yours today. Bread gloves. Are you a busy man on the go with no time to sit down and make a sandwich? Now, with the power of science, You can just pick up a couple of handfuls of sandwich fixins, and you'll have 2 sandwiches ready to take on your morning commute, in the big meeting, or on your way to the golf course. Just be sure not to eat into your own flesh, and you're good to go. Now, I have to tell you, we don't just promote these things here on the show. I've actually used the bread gloves, and I have to say, not only are they comfy, stylish, but that sourdough is something else, I really tell you. Boy, I picked up a big old chunk of turkey, couple of tomatoes, and some light mayo, and I just headed out the door onto the morning train without a care in the world. These are sandwiches the way that God intended them to be. Just do be careful. It really is easy to bite your own hand when you're wearing these things. But you can make a sandwich on the go like nobody's business. The remote guntroll. Are you an American who needs to change the channel? If so, there's only one way a real live true blue flag waving American would do it, and that's with something shaped like a gun. The remote control has the shape, heft, and feel of a real Glock 9. The remote is universal and can be programmed to control any major brand of television, so long as it's not manufactured in some communist hellhole. The remote control is the only remote control recommended by the NRA. And boy, they know a product when they see one. The mouth toilet. Are you such a piss perv that you consider a piss wasted if you don't shoot it directly into the willing mouth of some degenerate? With the mouth toilet, you can piss directly into a gigantic mouth every time. For an added fee, we can add a speaker to the toilet which will thank you for pissing into its mouth. Don't you want a mouth toilet? You degenerate. You pervy degenerate. Oh, we know about you and your piss thing. We've known for quite some time. Just buy yourself a mouth toilet and move on. Thanks, science. I guess. Keyboard pants. Are you still wearing pants without a full-size 100% functional Bluetooth keyboard attached to the front? Well, get with the times, Gramps. All the cool kids carry their peripherals on their apparel nowadays. With these bad boys, you'll be able to code, game, or waste time on Reddit from anywhere. Just be careful when you're gaming. There have been reports of accidental rage quit dick punches. Gotta watch out. Those accidental rage quit dick punches are real, and they are painful. I can attest. First-hand knowledge. Anyway, moving on. Part 3. Science experiments for kids to try in your own home. That's right. Mom, Dad, we all know that you would like America to finally beat those uppy Scandinavian countries that have been looking down their noses at us for too long. You all know we'd like to beat them in something, anything. Well, why not science? Please do these experiments at home with your children, and they'll know a lot more about science than anyone named Flurgen Blurgen in some godforsaken socialistic hellhole. That's right. Experiments for you to try at home with the kids. Popsicle stick harmonica. All you need is 2 popsicle sticks, 3 rubber bands, and several lengths of plastic straw, and you can make this actual working harmonica. Then take the harmonica and a stopwatch and find out how long you can play it in the house before your father gives you something to cry about. The answer? Science! Make your own stethoscope. If you have 2 funnels, a balloon, and a length of tubing, you can easily construct your own funnel. What? Funnel? Who wrote this? Stethoscope. Braxton, were you high when you wrote... Why even ask? It's like Snoop Dogg got back together and is holding a reunion. Wait, Snoop Dogg's just one guy? No, I thought it was a rap group. Like Snoop and the Doggy Dogs. That's okay. Well, color me someone who is very not knowledgeable of the hip hop culture. Okay? It's a generational thing. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, if you have two funnels, a balloon, and a length of tubing, you can easily construct your own stethoscope, Braxton. Stretch one balloon over the wide end of the funnel and connect the tubing to the skinny end of both funnels. The balloon-covered end is for placing against the chest, and the open funnel is for listening. Now you can play doctor with the girl next door. I mean, honestly, you could probably try it without the stethoscope. She seems, willing for that kind of stuff. I've heard things. Anyway, safe drop egg container. All you need is an egg, some drinking straws, and some tape, and you can create a container which will keep an egg from breaking when it falls to the floor. Because nobody loves a woman who keeps dropping the eggs, do they, Janice? I swear to God. You do the grenadine maneuver one more time, and suddenly she's Lil Miss Flinch-a-Lot. You know what I'm saying? Get a woman in your life that people don't know about. Her name is Janice. We are very happy together. We've been going together for a couple of weeks. Still fresh and new. We're still in that honeymoon phase where nobody can do anything wrong and everybody's just happy. Except for Janice has a habit of dropping eggs because one morning when she was making the eggs, I happened to perform the grenadine maneuver because she was freaking out over some nonsense that I had said the night before and she needed to just calm down. And now, suddenly, anytime there's eggs to be made, she's dropping them all over the floor. Says she's having flashbacks and whatnot. Says she needs therapy. Well, what do I look like? I'm made of head doctor money? I'm not made of head doctor money. You take it like a man. You bury that stuff deep down, and you don't let it come out until you're drunk. Anyway, moving on. Solar oven. If you have a Pringles can, a knife, a dowel, or a skewer, and some plastic wrap, you're just a few steps away from having your own solar oven, which can turn hot dogs from their uncooked and unnatural orange color to an, I guess it's cooked, grayish tinge. As an added bonus, if you eat the hot dog, you won't have to go to work the next day. Because of the explosive, and I cannot stress this enough, explosive diarrhea that you will get from eating a hot dog cooked by the sun in an old Pringles can. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Glad we're clear on that. Liquid density. Learn about how different liquids will settle on different layers by pouring the following liquids into a glass: grenadine, pineapple juice, coconut rum, and blue raspberry vodka. You'll be amazed by how beautifully the colors of the different liquids settle in layers. You'll be even more amazed when your friends tell you about the hijinks you were involved in after drinking several glasses of this layered drink. You won't remember any of them. And when I say any of them, I mean both the things you did and your friends. That reminds me, I've still got a little bit of tequila. Let's slam this down. Delicious. Where was I? Where am I? Who am I? What's this? Huh? Some sort of show? Oh, I'm the host. Oh, okay. What are we doing here? Science experiments? I gotta cut somebody open? I saw this lady in half? Can I saw her in half? Let's saw her in half. I might saw her in half anyway. Anyway, here we go. No, don't tell me I'm confusing a science experiments with magic show. I'll I'll throw a smoke bomb on you. Then we'll see who's science. Then we'll see. You'll disappear and nobody will ever find you. That'll be scientific. Try and find my DNA on your crime scene. They won't be able to find any. Smoke bomb. Okay. Tequila is kicking in. Woohoo! 30% more gay. Egg into a bottle. If you have a bottle with an opening that is slightly smaller than an egg, you can create a vacuum that will pull the egg into the bottle simply by lighting matches, which will burn up the oxygen inside the bottle. This shows the scientific principle of fitting large objects into small holes with just a little ingenuity and a can-do attitude. Janice, it is not too big. And I brought plenty of lube. Anyway, water displacement. The next time your mother takes a bath, watch closely and carefully. When she lowers her curvaceous frame into the water, you will see the water level rise a level equal to the mass of her every supple curve. You may also notice a chemical reaction taking place in your pants. Don't worry, this is very normal. By the way, you wouldn't happen to have your mom's cell phone number? Or her Snapchat or her Instagram or whatever? You know, just asking for a friend. Okay. Grow your own crystals. Dissolve 4 cups of sugar into 2 cups of water, then add food coloring of your choice. Immerse a stick into the solution using a clothespin to hold it in place, and watch your crystals grow. Coincidentally, you can make other crystals that you can sell for big money if you combine the pseudoephedrine from Sudafed and red phosphorus from match heads and cut it with acetone. Be careful, though. The fuzz doesn't like these special crystals, and you also can't be caught selling on rival turf. Even so, it's easy money. Make your own butter. Fill a mason jar half full of heavy cream. Screw the lid on tight and start shaking the jar up and down. After a few minutes, you'll have whipped cream. Add a pinch of salt and keep shaking. Pretty soon, the cream will solidify into butter. Boys may find the exercise of shaking a cylindrical object up and down for several minutes will come in handy someday soon. And girls may also want to get used to this motion if they want to be really popular with the boys. Show's over. No closure. This program was made possible by the Igneous and Gertrudina Buttcomer Foundation and by viewers like you. Promotional considerations provided by Ralph Morgan's Extra Strangly Snakes, the Lonely Ass Librarians Guild, Grandpappy True Reel's Foul-Smelling Balms and Gruels, and the one and only True God. This program was directed and performed by Rem Pemberton. Get to bed, Rem. Get that Rem sleep. Oh, ha, ha. Like you're the first person to ever say that. Guy thinks he's clever over here. Written by Braxton White Guy. Wait a minute, you're not going full Rastafarian on it. Oh, God, he hasn't washed his hair in I don't know how long. Oh, he's trying for white boy dreads. We need some sort of an intervention over here. Theme song by the Out of Tuners. Nice and regular today, guys. Just regular as regular gets. Presentation of Non-Sober Badger Productions. A subsidiary of the large, boring-sounding corporation with surprisingly questionable business practices. Lawful Asset Holdings Incorporated. a branch of the intentionally vague corporation whose purpose may never be known. The Blaine Group. And communism. It's not dead yet, suckers. This week's lucky listener getaway giveaway goes to Domenico Dom Picarilli. Wait, is that the Dom who thought he was the bomb because he went to the prom with his stepmom? And then he just went on and on about how he wanted us to rub balm on the palm that got to third base with his stepmom? Yeah, guy got to third base with his own mom. Stepmom. Doesn't make it that much better. Really? He's the same guy? Wow. A lot of guys I know got to third base with his stepmom. She was something else. You know, now that I think about it, Dom's little brother looks a lot like me. I should call Dom's stepmom. See how she's doing. Yeah. Anyway, our lucky winner wins a partial expense paid vacation to scenic downtown Payson, Arizona, where you'll stay at the fabulous Travel Lodge and dine at the lovely Cracker Barrel, where the real crackers eat, just off the interstate, within walking distance from the hotel. And that's how you know it's really over. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you from the bottom of my esophagus for being here and being a willing full audience. If you heard this all the way to the end, and there is no reason to believe that you did, because what? No, you didn't. Shut up. Get out. Okay. Hey, if you made it all the way to the end, I want you to let me know in the comments, not to promote this channel. I don't give a frick about this. This channel is for me. I'm the only one who cares about it. But if anybody makes it all the way to the end, I want you to just write the word esophagus. You don't even have to look it up. Just misspell it if you have to. Write asparagus if you have to. Anyway. Got that Rona. Anyway, regardless, people. Comment esophagus down below, and I'll know that you watched this thing from beginning to end, like a real serial killer waiting to happen. And I will alert the correct authorities, and they will descend upon you and take all your manifestuses and your gun caches and your pamphlets and your cassette tapes that you've been recording and releasing in secret to your weird little organization who thinks that you're the Messiah. I mean, come on. You're not the Messiah. That's Emmylou Harris. Anyway, esophagus in the comments if you could, please. Anyway, thanks. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.